I am like a coiled snake, ready to strike.
Ready to strike.
Ready to strike.
Ready to strike.
Ready to strike. Ready to
New adverb already exists but seen, experienced, or acquired recently or now for the first time. Hello everyone again, and Happy New Year to you all. Wow, about 50 of you now. Once we hit 7 million, you guys can say that you were there at the very beginning, I guess. How wonderful. And hey, if you like that video, go check out my other ones. Or don't, do whatever you want. I'm not your mother. What I am, however, is bringing you another special video. Welcome to the Placeholder New Year's special. And special this one truly is, because the first time in human history, this isn't a video media review video. Holy crap. It's about time I make a special video that's actually special. So what are we doing here today? You, the viewer, whom can't help but interrupt me at any chance you get, may be asking yourself, or selves. Well, I figure because I missed getting this out on the real New Year's, we're going to learn about the next best thing. China, my favorite communist superpower. At least standing superpower. Traitorous implications aside, China actually does other things than scare and confuse we good old boys. They provide us not only their best gentrified cuisines, but also the best sizes of towns in our cities. And, more to the point, its own New Year. The Chinese New Year is about a 16-day celebration, or one that leads up to its next full moon. Starting this year, or next year at the time this is being written, on the 29th of January, a celebration of the Lunar New Year, celebrating the passing of ancestors over the past years, having roots within Confucianism, Buddhism, Taoism, and other such Eastern practices, and within those practices lay our topic of the day, the Zodiac of 2025. Zodiacs, star signs that fill up a whole year rather than a month, also using real animals compared to whatever the hell a Capricorn is. For all my 5th grade graduates out there, you'll remember that the Zodiac animals cycle through 12 years, from the rat to the pig, and the dragon thrown in there too, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Most pertinently for 2025, the wood snake. Although typically one may consider a snake to be a beast most foul, the Chinese seem to hold this slippery serpent in a different light. A light that I, myself, have decided to look directly into the bulb of. Does that make any sense? Bully! I thought it would be fun to look at some interesting facts about snakes, both in the eyes of the Zodiac and the eyes of the real world. Also, I need a reason to talk about funny little creatures sooner or later. I guess we'd best slither right into it, huh? Snakes.
Nature's snakes.
The godless animal. Coming in mostly one shape, but certainly many sizes. The snake slinked its way into the folklore of almost every culture on the planet, in one form or another, and it's easy to understand why. A legless reptile that'll bite you once to death, and then it will swallow you whole without even chewing, has got to be one of the freakiest builds in the animal kingdom. And there was a time where they were even bigger, if you can believe it. Often in your day-to-day life, snakes are used in a negative connotation. Cats even have a natural fear of the little freaks. And although I could dive into the scientific reasons and evolutionary aspects of why this could be, I think it's best for the clear and undeniable vibes of the little creatures to speak for themselves in this case. After all, the first thing we think of when hearing somebody called a snake is probably your ex. So then what is it that the Chinese have to say about snakes? Probably the same as us, I don't know. What can I say? I've never talked to the Chinese as a whole. I can, however, tell you what the Zodiac says. 2025's Year of the Snake, a Zodiac shared by 1953, 65, 77, 89, 2001, and 2013, and probably before that too, to be honest. But more specifically, this year is that of the wood snake, the others being fire, earth, metal, and water. What seems a little underwhelming, don't you think? With the shift in energy that follows the snake, a fresh wave of opportunities is predicted. As to who's in charge of making these predictions, with the new year spanning from January 29th, 2025 to February 16th, 2026, the snake is meant to bring in with it a whole wave of new energy. That wave of energy including wisdom, agility, and strategic foresight. Very important, that last one, for the inevitable invasion of Canada we've got set up. Prepare yourselves out there, you maple-headed moose-loving. I've also come to learn that other zodiacs get some boost this year too. According to my extensive research, it looks as though luck is in the air for anyone born as a rat, a rooster, a monkey, a rabbit, and a snake, if you can believe it. Meaning, if you were born in these years, that means 2025 is your year for real. For the rest of you, well, there's always 2026. I'd go into more detail about the horoscopes of the non-snake zodiacs, but this isn't about them. This is a disjointed schizo rant loosely based around the creature that got humanity kicked out of Coolville. Now, that's the long and short of it, at least for what the Chinese have to say about it. Unfortunately for all parties involved, this video isn't over yet. Although there is very little left to say about the Chinese zodiac wood snake, there is still a lot left to be said about Chinese snakes in general. This is the part of the video where I bring you fun snake facts in one form or another. Why? Because bitches love snakes. Plus, I like animals and needed to plant my hyperfixations into the blood of this channel somehow. What better area on the planet to start off with than snakes that reside within the borders of China? In eastern China, there resides a family in the Xingqingchao village. It's home to a snake farm holding 3 million snakes. For every one person, there are 3,000 snakes. Why is this unholy biomass being cultivated? To make, and I could be wrong about this, snake medicine. For all my fans born in 1852, that's real genuine snake oil. They also collect the substance called snake liquor, which is this. Looks delicious, right? And don't worry, it's completely safe to drink, and it's not inherently illegal. Well, the snake inside is, so, drink your heart out, I guess. On the topic of snake-related geography, let's move on to our next snake fact of the year. Snake fact number 2. Snake Island. That's the fact, Snake Island. It's real, it's a place on Earth. Ever seen Jurassic Park? It's like that. What do they got there? They have snakes. Snake Island, off the coast of Brazil. That's Snake Island. The island's name is Ilha de Queimada Grande. I hope I'm saying that right. And oddly enough, the island itself is shaped like a snake. One may think this is by design. On the island, there are between 2,000 to 4,000 golden lance-headed vipers, which are a type of pit viper in the subfamily oh boy. Yeah, it's up on screen. Of the family Viper, oh man, okay. Thankfully, the island is the only place you can find these snakes. Less fortunate is that these snakes have some of the deadliest venom in the world, making this one of the most dangerous places on Earth. I kid you not, each time someone is permitted to visit the island, they send them in with a serpent death squad. Also, there might be treasure there. Treasure left by the Incas, called the Treasure of the Trinity. Feel free to go looking for it. What could possibly go wrong? So, to recap, there's an island off the coast of Brazil called Snake Island with some of the deadliest snakes in the world. And on the island may lay ancient Incan treasure. We live in the real world. Snake fact number 3. Snakes used to have legs. I feel like this is a pretty well-known one these days. I guess it was a well-known fact of life back in the day. 167 to 143 million years ago back in the day, to be clear, during the Jurassic. Allow me to introduce you to the concept of Portugalopus. Portugalopus? I don't know. It's a snake with legs that lived 152 million years ago. Unfortunately, there's no pictures I could find of this creature, and there wasn't a lot I could track down online to really give anything extensive on this one. Also, this isn't really the kind of channel to do that. What I can tell you, however, is that it turns out a snake isn't defined by the lack of its legs. It's actually identified by the structure of their jaw. The unhinging feature that lets them swallow things whole happened before they lost their legs. There's far more to it that I'm certainly not qualified to explain, but that's the basics of what we need to know right now. Next, we have resident Colorado local, the Diablofis. Adorable! His name means Devil of the Canyon. That's kind of all I have on this one. It's got a cool name, it looks cool, huh? We now move on to our newest, more modern model, the two-legged Pachyrhynchus. Whatever. From 130 million years ago. It was a sea snake of some sort, and according to my research, he's just a little guy, maxing out about just below 5 feet. How wonderful! Although, I get the feeling that this thing still looks some of you in the eye. Where are your parents? Also, the snake has the best paleo art I've ever seen in my entire life. Something about this guy is it just does it for me. What can I say? Now, on the last stop of our journey, it comes to a close when we meet the Najash Rhinogena. Whatever. A two hind-legged snake from about 90 million years ago. They just found a bunch of fossils in 2019 of this little freak. I found an article on what this means and what it tells us about the snake, but I'm not going to regurgitate it here. Go figure it out for yourself. Also, I don't have the time. I kind of got to get this out soon. Finally, in the modern day of 2025, we have both pythons and boa constrictors, who are both still born with their back legs on their bodies. Silly snakes, only God's creatures are meant to stand before the Lord. Remember, you must crawl on your bellies forever. Snake fact number 4. This is a twofer for you. Snakes get bigger the warmer their environments get, and also there are snakes that can fly. There's flying snakes and they're around there in the real world. That's all I got for this one. All right. To be honest, yeah. Snake fact number 5 / or snakes that aren't snakes at all. There are things that saw snakes thought bitchin', then copied the idea with varying results. And I'm going to go through a few of them here right now. Starting with the legless lizard. Now, you may think that a snake is kind of like a lizard with no legs. Real! But you're wrong. Remember the jaw thing? Along with that, legless lizards have eyelids and exposed ear holes. Along with different tongues. And also look at this guy. That's not the face of a snake if you ask old. Next on the list we have Sicilians. Not those kind. This kind. They live in South America and Southern Asia. They're actually amphibians, closer in relation to frogs than snakes. Also, they eat bugs and worms. And speaking of worms, Microchetus rapi. Ah! Horrible! Evil beast! Big worm! That's a big worm. Not micro at all. Very misleading. 2 out of 10, I'd say. Horrible creature. Wow, what an adventure. We time traveled for a second there. Remember that? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I also hope that you guys learned something today. I know that this is a different video than what's been previously uploaded, especially since I know a majority of you are coming from that last video, for whatever reason that may be. And let me know what you guys thought, or what else you may want to see. And Happy New Year's! After the fact, too, after the fact, or whatever. This year I aim to keep bringing you all good content. It looks like you're enjoying it for the most part. I don't know. Also, wow, welcome to 40 of you who saw my last video. Thanks. You're glad to have you here. I'll see you all sometime in the future. Happy 2025. And hey, maybe 2025 will find a name for our channel instead of just placeholder. What do you guys think? Just placeholder. That's the channel, isn't it? Placeholder. Okay. Like or comment or subscribe or whatever. Share, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Goodbye. Happy New Year. Goodbye. Oh shit! I forgot to set up my microphone. Mahogano. Mahogany. This is work.